This is the Bitcoin 1 month overview reading for the month of March 2023. It's currently March 1st, 2023, 1:53 a.m. Eastern Time. Bitcoin at the time of this reading is $23,750.02. That's USD. And the shuffle file we're about to play for Bitcoin's March reading was created on February 9th, 2023 at 5:12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this file right here. So, guys, I squeezed it in. Look at the time; it's 1:53 a.m. But I'm squeezing in Bitcoin because I know it's so popular. I cannot guarantee that Bitcoin will come out next month, guys. I really need as a sponsor somebody to sponsor the Bitcoin reading. You can get the paid version of the Bitcoin reading, which has all the best trades that we see for the month at the end of the video. The public version that you're watching probably right now on the YouTube channel doesn't have the paid version, or it doesn't have the best trades that we see. And really, that supports the channel, it supports the content, it sponsors the content, it allows us to put out Bitcoin's public video every single month. So if you want to guarantee that Bitcoin comes out, guys, please be that sponsor. Another thing to add, guys, the way that you do it is you go to our website, tarotfortraders.com, our services, Eso-Meta forecasts. Click here for your forecast. Type in the ticker, in this case Bitcoin, add to cart, check out. And what that does, guys, is that'll basically guarantee that the Bitcoin comes out every single month. What I want to point out is this price of $111 a month. There's only 5 spots left. We're taking 5 more sponsors for a recurring 1 month prediction at $111, and then the price goes to $249, guys. There's only so many I can do in a month, so the price is going up substantially. Don't miss out if you're planning on doing it, guys. You can sponsor Bitcoin. Make sure it comes out every month at $111 a month. It's going very, very fast, guys. 5 spots. Anyhow, so with all that said, the overall theme of behavior, we have a period of sideways rotation along a key support level and that ends with a fast sudden move higher. And then there's an important range that's highlighted. Whether or not it's the top of the range or the bottom of the range remains to be seen. We'll get into that in more detail as we progress through the reading. Behavior around the high side, we decline off of the high to and through a support level on a multi-day scale or a 1 month scale to meet a second support, and then we rotate sideways along that support. Behavior around the lowest low, there's a key technical price level that had acted as resistance for quite a period of time, maybe in the past, but it's a key technical price level on the scale of like a year-to-date chart, at least a key technical price level at the low. And what I think happens, let's take a look at the 1 year. First off, let's take a look and see how we did for the 1 year, right? So January we had a trough in early January and a big move out of the January low, pushing the upper end of a range higher. There was a period of volatility off of the high with a sharp dip that stood out in the period of volatility, and then there's a key technical resistance level highlighted towards the end of the month. Yeah, so early in the month, it's like we make a new high here. That's that abundance card. Out of a trough, there's kind of a new high that's made. And then some volatility near the high with a sharp dip in that period of volatility. Right? Oh, that's into February. Yeah, okay, so there's the high and there's a sharp dip off of that high. And there's a key technical resistance level you can see that's highlighted at the end of the month of February, or January. And now in February, we decline early in the month through multiple support levels. Off of the February low, there's a notable move to the upside standing out on a year-to-date chart. And it takes us to a prominent crest or peak for the year. I'm advised to be cautious near the high of February. There is a decline that increases with the momentum moving forward out of the month of February and into a prominent trough in March. All right, so what do we got for February, right? February started here. We had this decline through multiple support levels. Off of the February low, we had this big move to the upside to meet a crest or a prominent crest or peak for the year thus far. I'm advised to be cautious. Why? Because we turn around and this decline increases with momentum moving forward out of the month. So what we should see for March, guys, there's that shuffle file completed. What we should see for March is a prominent trough or a low early in the month. It looks like it'll take place within a U-shaped dip that takes place near the intersection of perpendicular diagonal trend lines. And then we have this off of the... Excuse me, and then like in the third week we have this big move to the upside. It's like a breakout, at least temporarily. But from that breakout, we turn around and we decline pretty notably into April, and it looks like that the year's low is there here in early April, it would appear. So with all that said, it does appear, and there's an important support level highlighted, a sound foundation of support highlighted at the low for March, which appears to be towards the end of, possibly towards the end of the month. I think probably towards the end of the month of March. And so what do we have? We have a high here on the 1st. We've got what appears to be a location of another high here, probably between the 11th and 12th. Then we decline and then do some choppy behavior back and forth. We have another high here, and then that's followed by some choppy behavior around a resistance level that acts as a good mean point between bullish and bearish positions. It looks like we probably have this temporary breakout here on the 23rd through somewhere between the 23rd into the 26th. And then we decline pretty hard into a month's low here on the 31st. We may see a month's low around the 10th and the 11th, but most likely location of the month's low is going to be here on the 31st. And then the sneak preview for the following month, we have a notable decline, multiple crypto. It's like a crypto-wide decline, not just Bitcoin, at least in early April. All right, so that does seem to follow suit with what the 1 year's cluster for March said. So let's get into the daily. All right, so we have a holding pattern with a pop and drop on the 1st. On the 2nd, we have a move higher, standing out on a 1 month chart, followed by a full retracement of that move back down to where the move higher started. There's the upper end of a range highlighted here on the 2nd on a multi-day chart. On the 3rd, there's a trade opportunity. I'll get into that in the paid version. There's a sideways S formation on the 3rd that forms within a channel. So we go from resistance to support, back to resistance, back to support, making like a sideways S formation. We have a highest high, most probable location. Excuse me. It's a location of what will be the highest high thus far in the year, in the month, I should say, here on the 4th, and we establish support at least momentarily. Trade opportunity on the 5th in the midst of a move to the upside. We likely open lower, or we move lower between this crest on the 4th into the 5th, and then we move higher out of it to another like peak or crest midday, or like a high for the day midday. Another decline from that peak into the 6th, and then a rally on the 6th that ends probably midday, followed by a trough for the month on the cusp of the 6th, 7th. We establish support there, and then there's a notable move to the upside standing out on a multi-day chart there on the 7th. On the 8th, we have a rally along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance on a 1 month chart, meeting secondary resistance, and then pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. On the 9th, it looks like a multi-day range is highlighted again, probably the bottom end of a range. Here on the 9th, we have a period of sideways rotation and a sharp dip that stands out in that period of sideways rotation along a key support level there on the 9th. That sharp dip will take us to an opportunity that was to a support level that was recently a past opportunity. So maybe like the support that we saw here around the early, like on the cusp of the 6th, 7th. U-shaped dip here on the 10th. That's also a cross correlator to the 1 year there. There's a cross correlator to the high here on the 1 year cluster here on the 13th. So there's some high correlation stuff going on here. But I think we probably have like this U-shaped dip taking place here And we see like probably the lowest price levels thus far for the month here between the 10th and the 11th, possibly the 12th too. On the 11th, there's bullish behavior bumping along resistance, and then we come to a crest, a prominent crest or peak, probably the same high that we had on the 4th here on the 12th. Early in the day, in the midst of some price swings, there's like a pretty significant price swing somewhere between the 11th and 12th. On the 13th, the period of volatility ends with a fast sudden move higher. And then on the 14th, bearish price swings and a sharp drop that'll stand out on a multi-day chart. Unicursal really speaks of a sharp drop. On the 15th, there's a day trade opportunity and a rally throughout the day that offers an opportunity to open up a short position. I'll get into that in more detail in the paid version. On the 16th, we're rotating sideways along key support on a multi-day chart. We rise to meet the nearest resistance and then fall back down and continue rotating sideways along that support level. On the 17th, we move notably higher out of oversold territory to a peak or crest. Most likely the same high as we saw here on the 4th or the 11th, and or the 11th, or possibly a higher one, but most likely the same. It's most likely the same as the 4th, the same price level, right? Here on the 18th, or maybe on the cusp of the 17th, 18th. I think it's probably on the 17th, and then on the 18th, there's a notable move to the downside on the cusp, followed by a move higher out of that move to the downside for a prominent crest or peak on the 18th. Then we decline into the 19th with increasing momentum as we move forward throughout the day of the 19th, into the 20th, where there's a notable move to the upside standing out, probably the biggest move to the upside for the month thus far, but it'll really stand out on a multi-day. That takes us, that move higher probably continues into the 21st, where we meet a key technical resistance level and a good mean point for bullish and bearish positions. There's a trade opportunity here on the 21st that I'll talk about more in the paid version. And we decline from this resistance level pretty significantly. I think there's a lot of ground covered here, price-wise, especially on the 20th. And the 18th. But we fall from this resistance level on the 21st and make a new prominent trough or low there again on the 21st as well. On the 22nd, I'm advised to be, there's an intentional fake out, shake out, some sort of misdirection with chart behavior intended to make us do the wrong thing. And there's like 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level there. A really significant move. So probably it looks like we're going to fall on the 22nd, like into the 23rd. It probably makes us look like we're going to fall, but they're out of a prominent lower trough there on the 23rd. There's a notable move higher for a prominent high towards the end of the day on the 23rd. It may even be a higher high than we've seen thus yet. And a significant trade opportunity there, which I'll talk about in the paid version. On the 24th, a rally along a diagonal trend line ends with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. Into the 25th, we're advised to be cautious. Multiple false tops on the 25th. With a higher price level yet on the 26th. We move higher through resistance, stay above it briefly, and then break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter into a prominent trough on the 27th. Prominent high, probably a highest high on the 26th. Probably a highest high here. Around the 26th anyways. But we fall from that highest high, selling from near overbought territory into a prominent trough on the 27th, out of which there's a notable move to the upside to another prominent crest or peak that we revisit in the midst of some erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level here on the 27th, 28th. We go from a prominent trough to a prominent peak to a prominent trough there on the 27th, 28th. It's some really erratic behavior. A notable decline through multiple support levels on the 29th. Decline continues into the 30th, ends with a fast sudden move higher. That decline ends with a fast sudden move higher probably on the 31st. out of a lowest low. This is most likely where we have a lowest low for the month here on the 31st, with increasing with an even lower low in April. All right, guys, that's Bitcoin for March 2023. Glad I was able to get that done for you guys. But again, guys, if you want to guarantee it comes out every single month, please, somebody go ahead and subscribe and sponsor the channel's content. There's only 5 spots available at the $111 a month subscription level. All right, guys. Make sure to follow that rule of karma as well. That's the most important part of the channel, guys. There's an unwritten agreement here between the channel and the people utilizing it to profit to follow the rule of karma. 5% of the profits from the information made on this channel needs to be paid back to the channel here at PayPal or Cash App. I call you guys my angel investors, and believe me, your names stick in my mind. Much supported, much appreciated support and much needed support from you guys. And then 5% of the profits from the information made on this reading needs to be donated forward to one of these charities, or to pay it forward to somebody you know. As long as you're paying 5% forward, 5% backwards, and you're spending that money out of love, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions. I'll see you on the next one, my friends. Oh, and stay tuned if you got the paid version. We're going to get into the best trades momentarily. This is the best trades that we see for Bitcoin in the month of March. I just wanted to express my gratitude to all those supporting the channel with the paid version of this Bitcoin reading. It really is the best way from a business standpoint to support the channel, because we're able to project future income and then budget accordingly. It's really, really helpful. And not to mention, guys, when you support the channel, you're also supporting the evolution of human evolution, evolution of consciousness, of collective consciousness, of human consciousness, of human evolution. Really, the limitations of human evolution right now are not anything more than our ability to extend our belief past that which we believe to be possible. Right? What we believe is what is true. So if we can extend our beliefs, we can extend reality further and evolve to be greater beings. This is one way. This provides proof. Proof is a very helpful tool in extending belief and revelation. So you're supporting that, my friends. Much appreciated. Blessings to you. So the best trades, guys. So I think probably the best trade I see is in the midst of this trough that we see here on the 10th, 11th. I would open up a long position and look to close that long position somewhere around the 23rd or the 25th. Possibly the 26th. Not too many really juicy ones going on. There's a day trade on the 15th in the midst of a rally early on in the day. There's a move higher to reach for a distant resistance level on a one-day kind of scale, one-day chart kind of scale. And when we meet that resistance level, that's an opportunity to open up a short position. You could close that short position later in the day there. Towards the end of the day on the 17th, you could open up a short position after a notable move higher to reach for a key technical resistance level. You could close that short position on the 21st. This trade here isn't very clear, so I'm going to avoid the one on the 21st. We definitely want to cash out of a long position here, because we're going to have a notable decline into April. There's a quick swing trade here, a short trade on the 26th. When we break up through resistance, we stay above it briefly. That's where I would get into a short position, and then we should break back down into a low here on the 27th, where I would close out. Not too many clear trades, so I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Not the best month for trading Bitcoin, but when we get into the following month, guys, it's really April. Early April is looking like the bottom of Bitcoin's, or the bottom for the year, or the last significant low for the year, before we have like this notable rally that takes off with a high towards the end of the year of Bitcoin, guys. So don't be faked out by all the behavior going on this. Make sure you still hold true and hodl your Bitcoin, my friends. With that said, I'll see you on the next one.